What about Sancha? Aren't they in trig space? Yes. In fact, the Sancha are the interesting ones because the Sancha have been in trig space for over 2 years before we saw them. And as I allude to in one of the videos, it is my personal opinion. Now, some people disagree with me on this, but it is my personal opinion that the invasions happened because of Sancha. That it was Sancha's corruption of House Svarog that triggered the need to escalate their invasion, or their processes to absolute invasion. They may have already been wanting to do it, but there's a lot going on between the Triglavians and invasion and Sancha that we barely even talk about. Most specifically, again, not everybody agrees with this, but it really does seem that Sancha's nation has corrupted some chunk of the Dazbog subclade of the Svarog clade. Therefore, some Sancha that we see and some Triglavians that we see may not be who they say they are. We also know that there is another subset of Sancha that has showed up about the same time as invasions that are known as the Vimoksha Chorus, and they are considered to be independent of Master Kuvakai, but also, if possible, more extreme than Kuvakai. And interestingly enough, one of the very few pieces of information that we have about the Vimoksha Chorus is a quote by their leader said to be outside of the ruins of the station. Hold on. Phantasm. Recording recovered from station wreckage. What station? When was this said? Citizen Cornelius Sedek didn't show up until about 2019. This skin was the very first introduction of the Vimoksha Chorus. They've shown up a lot of times in the lore since. They're likely the source of the Nirvana implants. They were coordinating for some reason with the Kaldari terrorist organization known as the Tempest Dragonars. They were some of the invasions that were going on during the Triglavian invasion, and could be possibly the Sancha that, in fact, infected the Triglavians because of their aggression. My point is that that's an entire thread of this story that, like, hasn't even been put into play yet, but it's all there. I've done the videos that I did, including starting with the Triglavian, or the AEA data streams. The reason why I started with the AEA data streams is because not only are they pretty straightforward to helping us understand how data streams are structured, but they're also the least controversial of them all, right? When I get into rogue drones and when I get into Sancha, I'm going to go into my theories about what's really happening. And again, a lot of people disagree with me on this, but I think that there's reason to believe two things. One, that Sancha's nation has corrupted a fair chunk of the Dazbog subclade of the Svarog clade, and therefore the Svarog clade is now trying to reintegrate itself and save itself from its own corruption. And B, I think that the rogue drones are the source of filament technology, and the Triglavians' alliance with the Vimoksha means Nirvana. Yeah. Although I can't correct Sanskrit guy now that I think about that. But what? Why did that kill your link like seconds later? All right, I'll just post it again. So Sanskrit guy says this. But I mean, it does mean liberation, but it means liberation from a Buddhist standpoint, which means nirvana, right? Liberation from desire. Yeah. So we have the True Deliverance skin, which introduces the Vimoksha chorus. We have the can I spell? Yeah. We have the Vimoksha chorus log, which was about the handoff. All Tempest Dragonars, which is again a Terra cell of the Caldari state. Cell leaders have been appraised of the communication parameters for Operation Vajra. What does Vajra mean again? Vajra is the ritual device. It's considered to be the most powerful weapon in the universe. It represents a diamond and a thunderbolt. That's neat. All right. Locations are being prepared. Transmissions of coordinates will proceed according to the received parameters. We acknowledge the security compact terms. We'll call for mutual hostilities in the event of failure to handshake procedures at any staging location. Following successful exchange, we will evacuate the locations and terminate contact. So this was received when during the event, when you smash the site. So you go to the site, there's a whole bunch of Garissus guys, and then Caldari guys, the Templates, and then at the very end, a nightmare shows up. The Template side of things says, a partially recovered, cooperation and exchange according to the plan of Operation Vajra has been authorized by First Citizen Sedek, which is again the head of Vimoksha Chorus. Envoys will be sent to locations you provide on mutual communication channels, rotating on a pattern Sigma 79 with variable cycle Chronoset 181 and encryption Verimatrix 113. Handshake procedures will be established by return message according to these parameters. Failure to properly establish bona fides will result in hostile action as agreed upon by the terms of our security compact. So this is a log from the wreck of the Tempest Dragonar vessel, which so the envoy is being sent to the location you provide. So this is a message from the Vimoksha Chorus to the Tempest Dragonars, which means this is a message from the Tempest Dragonars to the Vimoksha Chorus. So the so this is talking about where they're going, but this one talks about locations are being prepared. So they're saying that the locations are being prepared. Transmission of coordinates will proceed according to the received parameters, which is what they just sent them. We acknowledge security compact terms and will call for mutual hostilities in the event of failure to handshake procedure at any staging location. Following successful exchange, we'll evacuate the locations and terminate contact. I just want to make sure that they're not using the word exchange as a communication term, because they're talking about communicating here. How do they use do they use the word exchange over here? Cooperation and exchange, according to the plan of Operation Vajra, has been authorized by First Citizen Sedek. So yeah, so this is all about them handing something over. So the question is, what were they handing over? Well, the Nirvana implants. This is how we got Nirvana implants, was by raiding the Vimoksha Chorus envoys and taking their blueprints. So Nirvana is associated with Vimoksha. This is all connected. Where did it go? I don't know. But Tempest Dragonars do show up again in the lore recently. And while I keep referring to them as a Terra cell, they were also basically the secret police for Tybus Heth when he had his authoritarian takeover of the Caldari state. What about Rapture implants? I think Rapture... Not all implants have this kind of lore, first of all. It's just Nirvana's had a lot of play up to them. Yeah, these are relatively old. I mean, I suspect that this is just like one of the implants that they use. In fact, it even says, yeah. So this just shows that Sanchez Nation has developed implants that help them manage their capacitors, probably because they use giant lasers. Nothing too fancy there. But yeah. Just like not every skin is some sort of dramatic lore reveal, but the True Deliverance skin kind of was. Jameston, thank you. How's it going? 07. And then, like I said, the Vimoksha chorus shows up a lot, or several times in like the world news and stuff.